item number 18, the Waihoro Spreydon-Cashmere Community Board report to council. Thank you, Carol.
I'll just grab my centimetre of glory and say that our board in the long-term plan supported the swimming. We asked for nothing for ourselves and supported the swimming pools in Linwood and Hornby.
Thank you.
We have a part A to which I wish to add a sentence, if that's okay, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Sorry, wrong glasses. We request the Chief Executive, you've got it in a copy up there, we request the Chief Executive to provide an urgent update on the immediate implementation of the above requested actions to the incoming council and relevant community boards.
Yeah, it's item 30 on councillors' agenda, and if we could we, I mean, I don't mean to disrupt the presentation, but if we could have item 30 just displayed, the resolution with the new wording added to it. Oh, sorry, I thought you'd already added the wording. So could we go back to the presentation while you add that? That's lovely, thank you.
That's to see it at the end.
Pardon?
That's to see it at the end.
I'll hand back to you, Carolyn.
Oh, right.
Carry on.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
So there's another part at Wilson's Road.
So we don't do this again? No.
They're going to add it in now to the resolutions. So you carry on.
Okay. Well, and the other part A is Wilson's Road signalised crossing, which unfortunately, according to Pam Richardson, is not the first puffin crossing in the South Island, but as we were told it was. This is a crossing to allow a school that initially was established on one side of the road, of Wilson's Road South, and has now bought properties over the other side of the road, and children are crossing all day, every day. This is to allow an expensive $300,000 crossing to allow the children to cross safely. The board has absolutely no objections to this and indeed supported it unanimously, but we did comment that it would have been nice if the school had been requested to contribute to the cost. So that's another part A. We canned a semi-regular every 2 years fair in Barrington Park, which in the end was less about the community and more about commercial hot dog and fast food stands and things. The staff recommended that we can that. Instead, we had small intimate festivals with the local community, and one of them has been this muddy adventure in Victoria Park, where we had quite a lot of people up there enjoying what turned out to be an enormous amount of mud, but the views, etc., from Victoria Park. We've also celebrating the end of in celebrating the end of the year, we're talking about our Youth Achievement and Development Scheme. I very much miss the small grants. They were a connection to the community that we don't have anymore. But the Youth Achievement and Development Scheme, thanks to staff, we've often had the youth come back and report to us on what they've done and where they've been, and it's been extraordinary, the range of activities that the kids have undertaken, including ballet and football and futsal, where our team came last but had a great time, and AIM, this is AIM, which is a celebration of science and intellect, really. Our young person, Mila from Cashmere High, who's in the at the forefront of the campaign on climate change, she went to Vanuatu. In contrast, these are people, young kids playing croquet, and over on the and also, and as well as that, we also celebrated our Off the Ground Fund, and including protection for the monarch butterflies by putting a strip round a tree in Ernley so that the rats couldn't get them. I visited Cashmere Primary School and told them about the Off the Ground Fund, and the next minute we had a request to support them in the establishment of a native garden. This is the Riverview the River Network, having a meeting to discuss future plans. And that's what I forgot to remember. Helene Mountner, who is a retiring member of our board and has been the most studious of community board members and hard-working, was a founder of the River Network. Many of the community board members and councillors here will know all about the River Network. It's been very influential over the last 5 or 6 years, and she was a founding member of the River Network, which has combined all the river associations along the Waihoro Heskett, and including ours, so into one body that protects the river from the top to the bottom, and that includes they've had initiated many things, including the mother of all cleanups, and that Part A resolution on the weeds in the river that was initiated by Helene as well, and I should have mentioned that earlier. What are these? Do you want to?
Oh, Fairy Garden, the mural at Beckenham, the toilet block in Beckenham School, next to Beckenham School's been painted, and
Is that
don't know what that
bike
is.
repair? Oh yes, well, Knock the Ground Fund went to a group who found old bikes and have repaired them for free for the community.
And Summerfield Community Pantry.
And Summerfield Community Pantry, yeah. And over the page.
Age friendly.
Pardon?
Age friendly.
And the age friendly campaign, the age friendly project in our ward. We're getting a progress reports on the age friendly action plan, where and are presenting it to the board, to the incoming board, on the final draft of the future details they'll have on their plans for the future. This is a project that's only in the Spreydon-Cashmere ward. It's quite appropriate that it is. We've got the highest number of older people, and we've also got the highest number of social housing, and that they are presenting to us the results of quite a lot of work that's been going on for the last year or so. And finally, I just want to mention the Off the Ground Fund. The Off the Ground Fund was invented by Jenny Huey and named by Jenny Huey, and it has been one of the most interesting projects that we have. It's $250 and it's half a page to fill in, and it goes. And a part of the criteria is that it be a moment of joy. It's not allowed to be routine, and it's not repeated. And the first one was a dragon in a preschool. The first Off the Ground Fund grant was a dragon in a preschool. And this was one of them. Rowley Canterbury Kids Coach Music. They were given $250 7 years ago to establish a preschool music group called Just Music in the middle of Rowley. They used the money to buy musical instruments and report that they stretched the money as far as it could go, buying dowel for the drumsticks, and one of the people made the drumsticks, getting milk powder tins, collecting them from the community and covering them with silver paper so that they could be the drums. These instruments have since been replaced with proper drums and equipment, but the important point is the longevity of the project, which started with that very small $250 grant. The Just Music Group for small children and their parents in Rowley is still going after 7 years.
That's a wonderful photo.
Yes. And finally, the board asked if we could have a photo of the lovely staff that we have in our board area. These are the people, and I'm starting on my left. The first person you won't know, and the second person, Chris. And the second person is JCP, then there's Emma Pavey, then there's Faye Collins, yes, that's a test, Annette Wilson. And Gail Payne. I've only known her for 40 years. And Wendy Guthrie. Gunther. Those are our staff. They all sit in the one room. There's lots of gossip. There's enormous amounts of food consumed in that room. And they are a devoted staff, devoted to each other and devoted to the community. And they have been a blessing for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Phil?
I'm happy to move this report, but also just to concur with Carolyn's comments about Dr. Helene Montner as an outstanding community board member, and we're sorry, but that Helene is retiring. She's just contributed so much, as Caroline outlined. But I guess like for the Apawa Heathcote River, the mother of all cleanups was really founded by Helene and the community she worked with, and that alone, I think our council and the board owe Helene a debt of gratitude, really. It wasn't just that area either, of course. Like she's has been a long-standing activist over women's issues, and also more recently for older people. So it's been a privilege, really, for Tim and myself and the board to work with Helene, and just on behalf of council, I really want to thank Helene so much too.
We have a notice of motion on the agenda, which I thought we could go straight to. I just wonder whether we could do the tributes to Helene at that. Yeah, so we'll just have the questions on the report at the moment. Yeah.
I was actually just going to use the opportunity to thank you for your submission that you did on the National Policy Statement on Urban Design. It was really, really good. There's not really a lot of opportunities to say it, but it was really good.
Well, we have to thank Faye for her contribution.
Yeah,
For sitting with us for an hour and a
Yeah.
half.
it was intense stuff.
and writing down our stuff.
There's not a lot of opportunity to say it, but I wanted to there.
Thank you for that. I thought we did a good submission on that.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for your report, and I'll take this moved by Phil and seconded by Tim. You want to debate this?
In the next item, in terms of the notice of motion, that we could formally record our thanks to Helene for the work that she's done around the Apawaho Heathcote River. And I just want to make sure that I wouldn't be told that I couldn't do it as part of the notice of motion, because I actually do think council should formally recognise.
Yeah, no, well, I had fully intended to deal with that in the notice of motion, but I thought I'd made that clear. So I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.